Yeah! Here we go!
It's time for TSS Fantasy.
It is Commissioner Cooper.
I could do a whole 49ers show right now.
Ready to rock out with my gavel out.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Don't sleep on my Patriots, you know.
And we're ready for football. Is that
Joe Burrow with this wrist? I'm curious.
I find you guilty of all charges.
Although you assisted force in this
I'm really
DJ Chuck Bass.
This guy has been doing it ever since coming off.
I hope you like the way I pimped
He's
you
at
out.
4 targets in all 3 of the classes.
For the touchdown this year.
You know, the great thing about being a football player is you don't have to take a shower to go to work.
There it is.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
Yeah! You see how the level of excitement, I was watching the intro and I was up there at the beginning. Now I'm here. That's how my season went.
That's the way to get the audience juiced up, Fred. All right, let's go around. We got a busy week 12, and we got some championships to win, or at least get you set up for your playoff bye. And we got a lot of teams on bye this week, so we got a lot to talk about. Let's do the intros, of course. Let's introduce the Mr. Sophistication himself, Andrew LeDuc. Welcome into the studio.
Big day for the Pats to take down America's team. Also, big shout out to the local team here, Amherst, New Hampshire, Souhegan High, state champs, baby.
All right, Andrew LeDuc obviously has something in his coffee this morning. I was supposed to play that, but it didn't. That was supposed to go
a little more. Beautiful morning for some bagels and beers, baby.
Yeah, he's definitely a little drunk already if he thinks America's team is going down today. Let's also welcome in. He's already got y'all pumped up this morning. Fred, the Jester Reyes. Welcome in, sir.
It's going to be a great week. My team is on a bye, so I have nothing to look forward to losing.
Yep, you're safe at the bottom of the AFC East. Let's also welcome in Justin Jesus Herrera. Welcome into the studio.
Well, you know what? All I can say is, LeDuc, you're popping one. I wish I had one to pop because I need like 3 or 4 beers before I got to watch this 49er game. Jesus Christ.
It's been a tough year for the TSS crews.
It has, man.
We've been struggling a little bit on that end. All right, well, let's, of course, pay the bills before we get things started today. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like, hit comment, put your comments in, your fantasy football lineup questions in. We'll be happy to answer them. Get the notification bell, all that good stuff. Little things stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do, so we appreciate it. Also, go to Underdog Fantasy. Lots of great DFS plays today. Also, they got more than football, basketball. They got all kind of great stuff. So go in there, play today. Use the promo code TSS. We'll double your deposit up to $100. Can't go wrong there. Also, if you're looking for some championship bling as we get down to the stretch here, look no further than Pro-Am Belts. All right, guys. Well, like I said, we got a busy week 12. We got to get, and of course, we got injuries to talk about. Stuff's been popping up. I'm seeing Brock Purdy going out. I'm seeing Devonta Smith going out. And we already have a binatal going on. It's crazy. So we need our medical expert in. Let's have LeDuc and Brian take us inside the medical tent.
A.J. Dillon just went into the medical tent a moment ago.
Oh, wrong.
Well, that was surprising. I wasn't expecting to see Cooper there.
Dr. Feelgood feeling a little too good this morning, I guess. Let's get to it because we did. There's not much new news this morning when it comes to injuries, but we'll just give a quick recap of what we talked about Friday night. Obviously, Brock Purdy out, Jake Ferguson out, Devonta Smith out. Those are the big ones we talked about on Friday. But from what I can tell so far this morning with the news dropping, there's a lot of expected to play. So let's talk about some of those guys. Mike Evans expected to play, coming back from the hamstring injury. We touched on this Friday. I believe he's going to be full go. Expect the full workload from him. You still feel the same after a couple days?
Yeah, he was saying that he actually probably could have played a couple weeks ago. They gave him a little extra time. I think that's reasonable. He's practiced in full for several days this week, so it sounds like he's good to go.
Another guy expected to play is Keenan Allen. Looking like he'll hit the field today. I'm not quite sure if that's going to necessarily matter too much for what that offense is looking like right now. But Keenan Allen, do you expect him to be limited at all?
Keenan Allen is only limited by Keenan Allen. He's been on my injury report for about 4 years, and so I am done talking about him forever.
I love it. Okay, that's fine, because the other guy on that team who really is the offense right now, DeAndre Swift, expected to play. Now, this is the guy I'm a little worried about though, because I believe it's a groin injury. If I had it written down, so that's something I'm worried about with him, because we see those linger, we see those really have an effect. So DeAndre Swift was expected to be a go, but his ceiling is much lower than what he's been recently for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a groin thing, but again, in football, not as huge a deal as it would be if it was like a sport like hockey, where you're constantly really stressing the groin. Malik Neighbors was dealing with something similar, and he's expected to play as well. The Giants kind of gave him a rest day on a Friday. I think the same situation here with DeAndre Swift. I don't think it's going to be a major downside play here. He should be able to compete at a high level still.
Well, and the other thing hampering Malik Neighbors, other than his injury, is obviously Tommy DeVito getting the start this week for the Giants.
Don't knock Tommy Cutlets, man. Don't knock him.
He can't have that same aura that he had last year, right? Like, there's no way that carries. I mean, the fans are going to be there for. We're going to see a lot of this in the stands. We're going to hear a lot of that. But
he was going to get rid of it, but he's bringing it back.
You can't let that go. And the fans, before you're even coming out, are already doing it. You got to ride with it, because this is his 5 seconds of fame. It's about all he's going to get. But I don't expect much, once again, of a ceiling from Malik Neighbors with Tommy DeVito, a quarterback. I don't really expect much out of that Giants say, but we'll see. You never know. We've seen crazier things happen. But really, like I said, there's not been much news on injuries. Have you heard anything else that we haven't touched on yet already? Because I'm not seeing much come across the wire yet.
Jalen Hurts was dealing with the ankle issue earlier in the week. He had a full practice on Friday. He's going to start their Sunday night matchup against the Rams. We know that Alexander Mattison and Zamir White are both listed as doubtful, but it sounds like neither of them will play, despite the doubtful tag, which is usually statistically only about a 25% chance that they would suit up anyway. And then the only other ones that were really kind of up on the fence was Sam Laporta, but it sounds like he's also good to go, coming off an AC joint separation. And then the big awaited return, or NFL debut of Jonathan Brooks for the Panthers. He'll get some time, probably as the RB2 this weekend or today, and we should see him suit up for the first time in his career.
That's right, because as we mentioned Friday night, it looks like Miles Sanders is going to be out. So, yeah, Jonathan Brooks should be able to slide right up that depth chart and probably retire Miles Sanders at this point. That's going to do it for the injury report this week, though. Stick around for the rest of the show. We got a lot of good stuff coming your way. Thank you, as always, Brian. And coming up right now, let's hear from NeuroGuard.
Dr. Michael Hutchison has harnessed the latest in neuromuscular dentistry and impact technology to develop a mouthguard that does more than protect. It enhances. NeuroGuard Plus isn't just a mouthguard. By focusing on the jaw's physiological position, it provides an added layer of neuroprotection, significantly reducing the risk of sports-related neurological injuries. All athletes should be using a custom mouthguard designed to their bite position. NeuroGuard Plus was created as a means to maintain your physiological jaw position regardless of your bite. The appliance is designed to optimize your upper-lower jaw relationship to improve your strength, your balance, your oxygen intake, and drastically lower your chance of a concussion. Independent studies have shown that the NeuroGuard Plus will provide you with improvement to both upper and lower body strength. The same improvements were not present with a common mouthguard. Over 6,500 athletes have used the NeuroGuard Plus. Dr. Hutchison is happy to say that the amount of diagnosed concussions is 0.2%. The NeuroGuard Plus offers athletes, coaches, and parents an advantage to keep their players safe on the field. If you or your child actively participates in athletics, they need to be protected from the dangers of repetitive head trauma. Get your NeuroGuard Plus mouthguard today. Click on the link and use code ILPSports for 10% discount on your purchase.
All right. Well, thank you, LeDuc and Bry. We always appreciate you guys handling the inside the medical tent. Now, it's not going to be as bad as Thursday night, but we do got to talk about some weather.
It's time for the weather report.
And before we get to that, we got a couple questions already in the hole here. Justin, let's go to Justin with Justin Rice here. He's got a 12-team full PPR. He's being offered James Cook and AJ Brown for Kittle and Connor, and then he put the rest of his roster on there. Not looking too shabby indeed. What do you think here, Justin? Think he needs to improve anything here, or should he stay put? Think you're on mute?
Mute returns.
You're a mute monster.
Mute. Oh, for life against mute. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I think he's got a lot going on for him. I would say, yeah, just take the deal because I think AJ Brown's going to be a lot more valuable down the stretch than Kittle is, especially if the 49ers start to turn this into a rebuild year where it kind of goes, oh, maybe we just need to sit Kittle and make sure he's healthy for next season rather than run him into the dirt. He's already been injured plenty this year, so I'd probably go with the AJ Brown, James Cook side.
This guy just said the 49ers going in rebuild mode. Wow. Great news here. Jeez, oh, please. Well, dude, let's go back to you for Cap for Life with America's team as his profile pick. Can't go wrong with that. So he just traded Dobbins and AR5 for JSN and Knicks. He needs 2 out of the 4, Abdullah, McMillan, Dell, or Shoemaker today. What do you think?
First of all, I like the trade. Good trade there, obviously, without knowing the rest of your roster, but I like that just for the 2 for 2 there. And then 2 out of those, I'm going to go with Dell and Shoemaker.
I like that, and I agree. I do like the trade. Bo Nix right now been one of the hottest fantasy QBs in the league. Gotta love it. And JSN, I mean, we talked about him Friday and last week. I mean, he's definitely one of the hot targets right now, so I like it a lot. Fred, let's go to you. It's from Dylan. He said, it's game day. Let's go, baby. He's got full PPR, so we'll go for we'll give you one of these first. And he's got, so let's go with the flex. You want to go with Tank Dell this week or DeAndre Hopkins?
I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. I think they play in Carolina against Kansas City. Kansas City just lost. So let's call this the get right game. So I have to go with Hopkins.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Tank Dell's been kind of helter-skelter, and we've talked about it all season long. Titans got a pretty decent secondary, crazy enough. So we'll see how that works out. Who do you think about the QBs, Justin? He's got Stafford or DeVito today. What do you think?
Oh, my God. We're starting this DeVito stuff?
Yeah, we're definitely starting that DeVito stuff. You know what? I think I have to go with Stafford just because you got to see what DeVito's got. DeVito could be an option for next week, but probably not this week.
Okay, I like it. All right, LeDuc, you got a flex question here, looking for upside. DeVelli, I can't even. You can do the other last name, Justin. You did such a good job last night. Is it Ekine? Is that
Akine?
Akine.
It's Akina. Akina, like
Akina,
but Akina.
Akina, the Princess Warrior. Got it. Shoemaker. He's got Gus Edwards, and anyone else you might be. Something else you might find on the waiver wire. What do you think? He's looking for a flex for upside here, LeDuc.
So out of these ones right here, I'm gonna once again go Shoemaker here. But if as far as like a full wide receiver that might be available on flex, on waivers, I don't mind a Noah Brown or Demario Douglas this week. Something like that. Those 2 I would do over Shoemaker, but out of these options, I would do Shoemaker.
All right, I like it. Fred, we'll go back to you for the last one. You want to know Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray?
So we got Baker versus the Giants. Oh, we have Kyler versus the Seahawks in Seattle. I think I'm going to take Baker against the Giants every day from now on. Anybody who plays the Giants or the Jets or anything out of New York except for Buffalo.
And Dylan, just FYI, we're going to get to this in a second. That Cardinals Seahawks game is calling for rain, which may temper your expectations for Kyler as well. So might not be a bad guy. Justin wanted to chime in. He said, thanks, guys. For the trade. All right. We like it.
Real time.
Who y'all playing in the flex? Well, Justin, we'll go to you. Back to Justin for Justin. Who y'all playing at flex this week between Thielen, Bateman, and Westbrook Akina?
Well, you know what? I said it before. Westbrook Akina's got 5 touchdowns in the last 6 games. But you know what? And this one, I think I might just go Bateman. Thielen is just coming back. I don't think he's going to be much of an impact. But Bateman has been surprisingly good this year. So I think I'm going to go with Bateman in this one, and just ride the wave that is the Ravens right now.
Absolutely, indeed. I mean, not only is their offense good, but their defense has been that bad that they have to keep throwing to get in football games. So I like it a lot. Dylan says, thank you, Leduc. Let's go back to you. Dominic Vo. He's got a full PPR question. Kittle without Purdy versus Green Bay or Ertz versus Dallas. He spelled it out for Fred just in case this was what do you think, Leduc?
So I'm gonna say Ertz here. Ertz has been getting more and more involved. I like Ertz here. Kittle is obviously the better tight end, but this is gonna be. We got to see what the San Francisco offense looks like. And Green Bay's a good defense, and they're on the road. So give me Ertz this week.
All right, I like it. Fred, back to you. We got Eduardo Gonzalez. He wants to know who should start this week. Adam McBride or Smith this week? Who do you think?
Pretty tough because I've been riding with McBride every single week, but the rain in Seattle and with the Miami playing New England, I might go with Smith this week.
Yeah. I mean, Jonnu's been definitely the third receiver in Miami. However, I don't see how the hell you get away from Trey McBride, bro. Like,
I know, but Seattle, good division game.
Also to mention on Jonnu Smith, Kyle Duggar, the best safety the Pats have, is back now, and he had 1 week under his belt, so Duggar might be able to handle Smith. We'll just have to wait and see, but it's a wrinkle.
So they're saying, TS is saying McBride.
Yeah, we ride with your guy with McBride, and poor LeDuc's trying his best to figure out how the Patriots are going to win this game today. But it ain't happening.
All right, wait to hear the crying text messages later.
I don't cry, bro. I'm so used to disappointment after all these years. There's no reason. That's why you don't hear me hype them up too much. All right, let's go to the weather real quick. Get this through. Dome games, guys. You don't have to worry about your kickers or QBs or any wind. In the dome, Lions at the Colts today. The Titans are playing the Texans, so you don't have to worry about that. Broncos at the Raiders, Eagles at the Rams, and Ravens at Chargers. So those are all your dome games today. And by the way, if I didn't say it earlier, thank you all for your lineup questions. We do appreciate those. All right, let's get to the weather-impacted games. Vikings at the Bears. It says 49 degrees and some fog today. So we'll see how that works out. And winds are at 12 miles an hour. We'll see how foggy it is, see if it's that, much of a difference for the QBs. But, obviously expect a good running game either way. We talked about it on Friday. That's one hole in the Bears' D is that the run defense. So you should see some good Aaron Jones action today. Patriots at America's team, the Miami Dolphins. And that's why it's America's team. It's 76 degrees, clear skies, winds are at 7 miles an hour. I mean, who the hell
cares about the weather in this game?
It's America's city, baby, with America's team. Let's go. Bucks at the Giants, 52 degrees, partly cloudy skies, winds are at 15 miles an hour. So a little windy up in New York today. Cowboys at the Commanders, 56 degrees, clear skies, and winds are at 10 miles an hour. Chiefs at the Panthers, 62 degrees, clear skies, winds are at 6 miles an hour. Here's where the weather is a little impactful. 49ers at the Packers, it's 44 degrees, and there is a chance of showers in this one, and winds are at 7 miles an hour. Then the Cardinals at the Seahawks, mentioned this earlier, it's 47 degrees, and it says likely rain. So we will see some weather impacts in this one, but the wind's only at 1 mile an hour, so you don't necessarily need to worry about that this week. All right, let's welcome in, of course, Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. We'll be checking out Bandy's Flex starts of the week here in a minute. Appreciate you checking in with us, my brother. All right, well, normally when we go to our prop bets, Ariel's been in, she's been in and out. So I just decided, you know what? Instead of going to the guy out in the shed on the video, let's bring our boy in live. Let's bring in Eric for some prop bets for week 12.
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
What's up, Eric? I should have got the coughing sound thing in there. What's up, my brother? Welcome in, my friend. Tell us what you got for prop bets for week 12.
Is this a beautiful slate? Or what? What a great week to have Monday off. I can stay up and watch all the football. I got I got a whole. I'm hearing myself over there.
We are too.
I got a whole bag of wagers here for you. I wasn't sure what you wanted. It could be the voices again. What about Commanders first half -7? Two teams going in opposite directions. Dallas hurt, Washington rested and healthy. Not to mention the Dan Quinn revenge angle. He wants to beat the shit out of this team. They cannot wait to kick a hated rival weather down, and nobody scores first and scores in the first quarter like these Washington Commanders. They just did it to Philly last time. I've been playing this all season. The first quarter, the first half Commanders has been awesome. And then how about your Dolphins laying a touchdown? Nobody punches down like the Miami Dolphins. You put a good team in front of them, they're going to struggle a little bit, but you put a bad team in front of them and they are going to beat the shit out of them. 24-17, 31-17, 15-10. That's your last three meetings, all won by the Dolphins. Yes, they have Thanksgiving football on deck, but these Patriots with Gonzalez and Duggar limited all week in practice, exactly the kind of team these Dolphins can handle business against. Now we got the Cardinals getting a point. I think they win this game in Seattle today. The Seahawks just beat San Francisco in thrilling cinematic fashion, I might add. This is a textbook letdown spot. The AFC North and the NFC West, you want to just take the points. These teams beat each other up. 4 of the 7 they've won outright as an underdog. Arizona, they play well. Going back to basically Kyler's whole career, they've been good as underdogs. We may have some weather, but they got James Conner, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't think weather favors Seattle if we get it. Then what do we got? Washington first drive score plus 105. I'm all over these Commandos today. And then we got some player props. Josh Downs over 4.5 receptions, minus 125 slot receivers versus the Lions. Another system play. We don't have the Bills playing a running back, so we just go to this one. He's a target monster. I don't understand why this is 4.5. They're going to be playing catch up by all logic. I mean, Detroit should be up in this game. And then Mike Evans over 65.5 receiving yards plus 110. I think the line is 55.5, but I did the math. He needs 665 in the last 7 games, comes out to 95 yards a game. Baker loves getting his guys their numbers. If you need to get to a certain number of catches, he's just going to keep firing the ball at you until you get it. So I think Mike Evans probably is trying to get 100 yards every single week rest of the way. This 1,000-yard thing is important to him. It always has been. A.J. Brown touchdown plus 100. It's pretty crazy. We're getting even money on an A.J. Brown touchdown when Devonta Smith isn't even playing. And these Rams are giving up over a touchdown a game to wide receivers. First touchdown is plus 700 if you're feeling crazy. And then an adventurous touchdown bet we got here. Noah Gray plus 450. This is a road game against the Panthers in which the Chiefs are favored by over 10 points. This is the perfect situation to basically give Travis Kelce the day off. If you need Kelce to beat Carolina, you got bigger problems. The Panthers are letting tight ends score at a rate higher than every team but Vegas. It doesn't have to be a red zone scenario either. Like we've seen Gray catch these seam routes that go 25, 30 yards as well. And then, of course, your guy Van Ginkel gets a sack today. He had 2 last week.
Listen, don't like Eric. If you missed the summer tour, it was so great. I had the Vikings people on. They're going on, and I'm like, wait a minute, before we go. Andrew Van Ginkel, because I seen this man every time he got on the defensive line. He was in the backfield. I can't believe Miami let him go. Freaking idiots. Anyway, thank you so much for dropping in and seeing us this morning. Where can we follow, subscribe, and get all your great content, my friend?
I am at PSR Host Guy on the Twitter or at PSR The Show on the Twitter. I'm also manning the controls of that thing. When I want to fire off a little bit of a hotter political take, I just hide behind that one.
Sounds good. That's sounds perfect, actually. All right, I know we got some lineup questions in the hole, so we're going to get to them. Eric, appreciate you dropping in once again this Sunday. Always appreciate your contributions. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, my friend. And before we head you out, of course, we're going to send you off, get you pumped up a little bit, get your gym clothes on. It's time for 4th and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast Flex Starts of the Week. Check it out.
Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
You too.
It's time for Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week.
What's happening, fam? You already know what time it is. It's your boy Bandy, back with another episode of Bandy's Flex Starts of the Week. I got a couple of good ones for you here, baby. Let's pop this bad boy off right now, man, with a guy who's been a little up and down. Okay, he had a big week against the Buccaneers, and we thought that was going to just keep going up and up, but it kind of dipped a little bit. But this week against the Panthers, I think you can throw D-Hop in the flex spot with confidence. Moving on to the next guy on my list. It's a guy that you hadn't heard much about this season, man, but there's a reason he's here. A rookie last season on a different team this season. I'm talking about Jahan Dotson. Okay? Devonta Smith is out. Somebody's got to step up in that offense. Jahan Dotson is going to be that guy. Moving on to the last guy on this list. It's another guy who's been a little up and down with a terrible quarterback, but I think that quarterback delivers this week. He's delivered a couple weeks before that. I'm talking about Calvin Ridley, baby. That's a guy that we really thought, if we can get him on a good team with a solid quarterback, this guy can be fantasy relevant. Well, he's going to be fantasy relevant this week, so throw him in your flex spot in week 12, baby. Hey, we almost there, baby. It's almost playoff time, okay? Don't forget, man, check out the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. And don't forget to hit that plus and come flex with us, baby, right here on Fourth and Flex. Back to you, Coop.
Thank you. I've been working out.
Thank you, Bandy, as always. Always loving the Fourth and Flex Starts of the Week. And, of course, he's in our comment section this morning. Can't beat that. All right, we got some questions here. Juan Pena Jr., let's go to you, LeDuc. He's got who for his wide receiver 2 in flex. So he's got Jefferson as number 1, but he's got Juwan Jennings, Stevenson, Josh Downs, Worthy, Pearsall, Akinya, and Josh Myers, and he's got Kittle as his tight end. So what say you for wide receiver 2 in flex? Where are you going?
So I'll go with Josh Downs here, and then I'm going to go with Juwan Jennings. I'm not 100% confident, but Juwan Jennings is the brightest spot in that San Francisco offense right now, and I think he's become the safety blanket there. So Juwan Jennings and Downs.
I said it on Friday. I'll say it again. I do think Ramondre Stevenson is a good flex play this week as well, depending, of course, if this is PPR or not. So that'll obviously dictate where you're going. But, yeah, on that. Bandy says America's team. That's right, baby. All right, Justin, should he drop anybody from his bench for Worthy or Keeney or Pearsall? I know you're not going to say Pearsall because we already heard you on that. And there's his bench right there. What do you think, my friend? You drop anyone for Worthy or Keeney or Pearsall?
I would maybe think about Valdez-Scantling for Worthy. Just because Worthy's got that X factor to it. Like I said before, Worthy might not really know exactly what he's doing because he's a rookie, but every single week they do some sort of end around with him and they throw to him deep about 4 to 5 times. And all you need is to connect one time and that guy's gone. That guy is Tyreek Hill incarnate again. So that's what I would do just because Valdez-Scantling, he's a nice little piece, but at the end of the day, it's still the Saints, and you still got to worry about Derek Carr throwing him the ball. You don't got to worry about who's throwing the ball to Xavier Worthy. Guess who that is? The greatest quarterback in our game today so far. So I would go with that one.
All right. Bandy with his flex starts. We appreciate you. We love you too, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to you as well, my brother. Appreciate you there. Fred, let's go to you for steady mobbing here. He's got start one of these guys, DJ Moore. See, he spelled it out. He knew this was going to Fred. DJ Moore versus the Vikings. Jaden Reed versus the Niners or versus Indianapolis. This is full PPR.
He got lazy. He didn't spell out J-Mo. I would have started DJ Moore. I just don't like the way the team is. I'd probably start Jaden Reed, to be honest. I'm starting Jaden Reed today versus San Francisco. I know this is not the San Francisco of old with the vaulted defense. They're going into Green Bay. It's going to be cold and shitty. So, yeah, Jaden Reed versus San Francisco.
Right, we just did a weather report. I never said cold and shitty. That was not what came out of my mouth.
If it's cold and shitty, dude, look at us. We live in Florida and it's 60 degrees and I got a sweater on.
I know. I know. I'm freezing. We put the windows open last night. It was freaking freezing down here. It's crazy.
My house's heat went out last night. It's 55 degrees in the house right now. I am cold.
I like JMO here, actually. We talked about the Colts being pretty soft everywhere on defense. I know Jaden Reed, I mean, can't go wrong with him. But, again, we did talk about might be some weather in that one. But I like Jameson Williams, obviously. I think the Colts defense is just that trash. I don't need to go anybody on this one. Zam, bam, zam. Let me just say this. You're damn right we're starting Mike Evans this week. That's a smash, zam, bam, zam start this week for sure. So, yeah, everybody's liking that. Go ahead, Justin. Sorry, I think I went ahead of you.
No worries. I just want to say this. I put this up on Reddit, and we're getting questions from Reddit. So I just wanted to throw out that this is from Haunted Mattress on Reddit. Great name. Never knew him. And he's got a 12-team PPR, and he's wondering who he wants to flex. Jordan Addison or Xavier Worthy. What do you guys think on that one?
Oh, that's worthy for me. That matchup for Addison's rough, so that's worthy for me.
Yeah, I think I agree. Bears number one against fantasy receivers, and Addison's kind of hit or miss. I think you can always start Justin Jefferson, but Addison's been a little hit or miss this season with the tough matchup. Yeah, I like the other side. I agree with LeDuc. All right, let's go with the Frogs. All right, forget Haunted Mattress when you can go with the Frogs. Good morning. We'll just kick it right back to you, Justin. JK or Bucky this week, and also is Lad playing? I believe Lad McConkey will refer to LeDuc on the Lad. I believe he is a good go. But what do you think of the question, Justin?
I like Bucky this week. I think that this is kind of like off the bye week. I think they're going to start changing around the positions. I think Rachaad White might start to look more like a slot receiver than an actual running back. And I think Bucky Irving might start to taking over more of the carries. He's looked really good too. JK, I mean, listen, it's revenge week for him going up against the team that disregarded him just because he had injury issues. But I really do think Bucky's going to tear up the Giants this week.
Yeah, I'd be a little stuck on this too, man. That's a tough one. J to the K has been really decent this season, but as soft as the Ravens have been defensively, they've been 10th against fantasy running back, so it might just be even a tough matchup to look out for as well. So, and we know how soft that Giants D is, so I like it. Let's go to Fred. He's got a PPR 12 team. This is Brian Lohman. He's got Allen and Goff at QB. Does he drop Goff for Knicks for today and bench, of course? Also, do you start Wandell over Eckler or Rachaad White at flex? So let's take the QB. Fred looks confused. Does he drop Goff for Knicks today? What do you think?
Goff for Knicks? Who the hell is Knicks playing today? He is playing the.
Oh, he's gonna say who the hell?
The Raiders. No, I know who Knicks is. I got him on my dynasty team. I don't.
Yeah, Bo Nix got a great matchup today.
Yeah, but I never drop Goff off anything. Yeah. I mean, he is just tearing it up, and he's playing like Jason just said. He's playing the Colts, so I'm never dropping Goff.
Yeah, I think you're safe to ride with Goff, but I do see the logic. Knicks does have a good matchup, and you're wanting to get those definite points. But Goff's been money the last couple of weeks and against decent defenses. Well, maybe not, but he's still been money. So that's why I like Goff this week as well. What do you think, LeDuc? Sorry.
I was just going to say, if you're definitely going to make the playoffs and you're thinking ahead and that's your reason for wanting to get Knicks on your team, then going down to the second part of your question, just drop Wandale Robinson, pick up Bo Nix, and play Austin Eckler this week.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like that actually a lot. Good advice. What do you think, Justin? Anything different what LeDuc just said?
No, I love it when LeDuc is like right on point because then I can just say next question because he said it best. Just get rid of Wandale, fucking start Eckler or start Rachaad White. And then just go, all right, I got Bo Nix. I got Bo Nix for this week. Let's go.
I don't know if you're making me blush with the beer. I don't know.
I was going to say, he's drinking beer this morning. That's why he's on point early.
Hey, his house is nice and cold, so that beer stays cold.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely. Ryan, we
Just
appreciate
throws
you
him on the
guys.
deck. That's the best freeze you got.
Also to go back to the Frogs, Lad is playing today. He returned to practice Friday, so he should be
All
good.
right, awesome. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much for your questions. We appreciate it. Let's get you pumped up and we'll talk about some ultimate DFS lineups.
The power of the Ultimate Warrior.
All right, let's check out last week's results and get that started. Greg's not here to make fun of him, but he dropped the belt and was our goon of the week. Yeah, he's missed a few this week. Had some good ones with Juwan Jennings and Pickens. Of course, cleaned him up a little bit, but had a lot of misses. So he, of course, is our goon of the week. And following up, LeDuc comes in at the next to last. Bo Nix, actually, like we were just talking about, but Raheem Mostert and freaking crap.
Two zeros, and I still didn't finish last.
That's not. I know. That's why I said we can't make fun of Greg while he's here. So that's crazy enough. And by the way, I added the trophy cases because I was starting to lose count. I was like, let me go back, and that way I can keep track. I came in the middle this week. Had some misses myself. Hunt and Chubb were such a disappointment last week, man. And of course, Pearsall as well. So obviously hit some good marks with Goff and Mixon, but unfortunately the duds brought me down a bit. Let's go to our second guy with two titles. He also had Goff and Brock Bowers and Amon-Ra Brown. So he had a three-headed monster. But then a little bit of, again, Rico Dowdle, Kareem Hunt, that brings that down a little bit. So that means for the first time all season, we got a new champion. Here he is with the belt on. Can you believe it? Again, this was a tough week, but Justin was putting up solid numbers all the way around. And so that's why he got our ultimate DFS winner.
And his name is John C.
And you literally can't see him. Okay, let's go, Justin. You're next. You're obviously up first. I'm sorry. Let's talk about this week's ultimate DFS lineup.
First off, I just need everybody to acknowledge that I am the champion.
Yeah, acknowledge.
I just did that.
So I started out with Bo Nix because obviously the talk of the town playing the Raiders. It's going to be a really good matchup for Bo. Passing, rushing, I just think he's going to have his way with the Raiders today. Then I went with James Conner. James Conner against the Seahawks. Seahawks are soft against the run, and James Conner has just been a monster this year. I look forward to watching him tear up the Seahawks and tear up their dreams just like they did mine this week. Tyron Tracy, I know we don't really like the Giants at all in this matchup, but the one thing I will say is Coop's absolutely right. The Bucs are terrible everywhere on defense, and I think Tyron Tracy, whether it's going to be catching the ball, rushing the ball, is going to have some sort of interaction with this offense. So that's why I'm going to get the guy who's going to get the volume this week. Sticking with that game, Bucky Irving, like I just said, I think Bucky Irving, this is the transition period for him where the rookie becomes the guy in charge, and I think he's going to have himself a day against the Giants. Then we got D-Hop, loving me some D-Hop today. The Chiefs are going to want to really wreck the Carolina Panthers today. It's kind of like a showing of arms, really a flex here because you're going to be like, all right, you guys can't stop us, and we're just going to do whatever we want. I think that starts with D-Hop, and it probably ends with Worthy, but I think we're going to see a lot from D-Hop in PPR formats. Jennings, this was before Brock Purdy, so I hope that Jennings is still heavily involved in the offense, but, I can also hope that Josh Dobbs takes over in, the second half and just kind of makes everything go. But, yeah, I'll stick with Jennings because, he's one of two real good options on this team right now. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba, the man that Coop keeps trashing, I'm going to keep rolling with. And then Cade Otton, I like Cade Otton in this game. It's either going to be him or Mike Evans. They're just going to really go off. And I just chose the guy that's cheaper. And then the Bears defense, I think that Sam Darnold has kind of been a fraud the past couple of months or the past month. So I think that the Bears will exploit him. And I was also kind of out of money. So I took what I could.
Listen, all right. So I'm not a guy that likes to be the braggadocious guy. Like, look what I got right. And I already called myself out on Friday. I was wrong about JSN. My bad. Okay, I'll do the push-ups. That was my fault on that one. All right, Fred, what do you think? Talk about your ultimate DFS lineup this week.
Well, obviously, we all talked about Kansas City and the Carolina. That's why I went with the combo this week. Mahomes to Hopkins. Cortland Sutton, he's been a bright spot on Denver, especially with Bo Nix. You know, whenever you have a rookie quarterback, you need that wide receiver for him, and it seems like it's working out great. I talked about Jaden Reed earlier. I think he's gonna have a good game today with Green Bay against San Francisco. Bowers has just been killing it. So, like, I think it's been me and Justin been talking about every week. If you're gonna have that flex, you might as well get two really good tight ends. It's cheaper. So we're going with Bowers and McBride. Tracy, the Giants, like he said, it's all about volume. It's all about volume, man. It's nothing saying the Giants are gonna do any type of work. It's all about volume. And last but not least, the Raiders are just not good against the run, from what I've read the other day. That's why I went with Javonte Williams. The Cardinals and the Seahawks. I hope it rains a ton. I hope it's sloppy. That's why I went with their defense at 2,600. I felt that it would be a good play this week.
All right, I like it. I see we got another question in there. We'll be finished here in a second. We'll get to that. All right, let's bring up mine. And I hate to tell everyone, we in love with Tyrone Tracy this week because I got him as well in my lineup. Must be a bi-NATO or something going on. I mean, Tampa Bay 27th against fantasy running backs. So, I mean, it's a decent play. Bo Nix, we've been talking about all morning. I'm getting on the train. Las Vegas 25th against fantasy QB, so it's a good play. Kenneth Walker Jr., obviously, with the rain we talked about, if that's going to be a play this week. Arizona 25th against fantasy running backs, so me likey a lot. Terry McLaurin this week, I like against Dallas. They're 18th against fantasy receivers, but you can see the Commanders putting up some big points in this one. I went with Quentin Johnston here. Lad McConkey is a little bit more expensive, but, listen, one thing Ravens do well is give up big plays, and that's what Quentin Johnston likes to make. Baltimore dead last against fantasy receivers, so I like it. Pick your poison here, but I went with DJ Moore, hoping that he's the guy to target today because Minnesota, it's a good matchup. They're 31st against fantasy receivers, so you got to like the matchup. And listen, I evolve, right? I listen, I evolve, I learn. You guys said it last week. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Play those tight ends in your flex spot. But this week, I actually just paid a little more and put in the main man, Travis Kelce, because Carolina is 31st against fantasy Titans. I love the play. Dallas Goedert in there as well against the Rams, 26th against fantasy tight ends. And again, we talked about it this morning already. No Devonta Smith. So you can expect an uptick for Goddard. And Texans D against the Titans offense, who is dead last in the league. How do you not like that? All right, let's go to LeDuc. Talk about your ultimate DFS lineup.
Yeah, very similar to a lot of you guys. We're going Bo Nix. Ooh. Who is that? Okay, whatever. Bo Nix. I love the matchup for all the reasons you guys already said. So give me Bo Nix. I'm gonna pair him with Cortland Sutton because you got to stack with DFS the way I feel. So I'm gonna put that together. Agree with D Hop as well. You guys already hit the nail on the head with him. So he's gonna have a big day. Jaden Reed as well. I like the matchup. I like that situation. So Jaden Reed. I do like the Jonnu Smith play still against the Patriots. I know I mentioned Duggar. It might be a wrinkle, but Jonnu Smith, I think, is just for the value, saving some money. I like that. And then Terry McLaurin in this Commanders game. It's too good of a matchup. Trayvon Diggs looks like he's most likely not going to play for the Cowboys as well. So another hit to their secondary. So Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, all those receiving options in Washington should be perfect today. And then at running back, David Montgomery, I'm praying for a touchdown. And similar Brian Robinson, I'm just looking for touchdowns out of those two guys. And then I had to go with the Bucs defense against Tommy DeVito and the Giants. I know the Bucs defense is terrible all around. We've made that clear, but I'm banking on a couple turnovers. And as far as DFS goes, you get a couple turnovers, you should be fine in the defensive spot.
And you ran out of money. Just be real about it. Let's go with Greg. This is Greg's ultimate DFS. Very similar to a lot of us here. He likes Kenneth Walker like me, Bo Nix, Terry McLaurin. He's got Quentin Johnson like me as well. Very similar this week. He likes A to the Chan against the Patriots, and Isaiah Likely through his tight end. Also with Justin on the Bucky Irvin train this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some questions here because I know we saw some pop in here. Well, we just got a good morning. Oh, it's Greg. The juice is loose. My bad, bro. Good morning, Greg. Well, hope good luck to your son's football team. I think you said it was the Super Bowl today, so good luck to his flag football team this week. Hope they pull it out this morning. And we got one here from Henry. Let's go, LeDuc. Debo or Sutton?
Sutton for all the reasons I just said in DFS. Sutton.
And I know Justin went on a long tear about Debo on Friday night. So if you'd like to check that out, check out our Friday night breakdown.
That convinced me to shoot for the stars this week in my home league. I'm sitting Debo. I'm not starting Jordan Addison like I talked about. I'm starting Noah Brown instead over Debo.
I have a lot of stock in Debo, and Justin just every time I look at it now, I can think of Justin's rant on Friday. So make sure you check that out. If you want to bench Debo, go watch Justin on Friday.
Just slow. Just
All
slow.
Right, all right, let's go. We got some picks to talk about. Let's do it.
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
All right, the Sunday picks today. Let's talk about last week. Not only Justin was champion at DFS, but look what he did last week.
No.
12-2.
What?
And Greg and Fred.
What the hell was that?
We talked about it, the Step Brothers last week, picking almost every game together, and now they failed together. Because look at the season right now. Ooh, the Step Brothers are together at the bottom because Fancy Jesus has made a big run.
I need a recount. 6 and 8?
Okay.
I actually still have the sheet sitting right here in front of me, so we can take a look at that anytime. Let's also LeDuc. Unfortunately, I made a little bit more of space here, so I got 6 games. As long as I don't shit the bed, I think I'm all right this season. All right, let's get to the first matchup of the day. We'll talk about the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. Titans are 23-21 all time against the Texans. The Texans swept them last year 26-3 and 19-16 in overtime. They won 3 in a row. The line on this one is Texans by 7.5, and the over/under is 50.5. Justin, who you like in this one and why?
Hammer it down, Texans.
Hammer it down. I don't think we need to break this down too much. We do all like the Texans. Don't need to waste much time in this one. Indeed, I like it. All right, we got a one from William. Justin, since we're still on you, go ahead and take this one. He says, good morning, Jonathan Taylor or Brian Robinson this week?
You know, call me crazy because I have a lot of Jonathan Taylor and Dynasty, redraft, everything. But I'm going Brian Robinson because I think I've already placed a bet for 2 touchdown day on Brian Robinson. That's how happy I am with his situation right now against the Cowboys. And I think it was LeDuc was saying, I think that he wants to really get back. Dan Quinn wants to really get back at the Cowboys and say, fuck you for passing me up on that job. I can do a way better job than that lazy, you know what, like McCarthy.
I like how he says fuck, and then he says, you know what?
You're only allowed a certain amount of words on YouTube, and I press it every single time.
Fred, what do you got?
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I love y'all.
Wow, we love you too. You heading out?
Yeah, I have to go real quick.
All right. Have a good one, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving, Fred.
All right, let's go to LeDuc with this one. It is from TT Warrior. He says, I have no choice. He wants to start one. Disley, Laporta, and Hunter Henry, and then he has to cut one for a kicker.
Jeez. So I'm gonna start Laporta. just because he's back, and I'm gonna go Laporta with the start. I don't really want to cut any of them because Disley is doing good right now. Hunter Henry is the only real true option in that Patriots offense. But if I had to pick, I guess I'm cutting Hunter Henry for a kicker, which seems silly, but yes.
Colts 27th against tight end, so I like the Laporta play. Indeed, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I feel like out of this group, I think you'll see less people trying to pick up Hunter Henry, just in my estimation. So that's who I would cut just for that fact alone. You probably won't see people rushing to pick him up, so you might be able to scoop it right back up like no big deal. All right, let's go Vikings. And thank you guys very much for your questions. We appreciate you. Vikings at Bears. Vikings lead the series 66-58-2. They split the series last year, 12-10 Bears, 19-13 Vikings. Vikings have won 4 out of the last 5, however. Minnesota's favored by 3.5. The over-under is 39.5. Who are you liking this one, Leduc?
So I am going to pick the Vikings, although once again, I'm not very confident with this pick because of the weather, because of the road game, and because of the way the Vikings seem to be going on a downward trend. I could see this being one of those surprise games where the Bears play better than they have been, but for now, I'm going to stick with the Vikings.
All right. Who do you think, Justin? And you're on mute. Mute monster.
Bears.
We didn't
bear, grizzly bear, brown bear, whatever bear.
I mean,
I think like Leduc said, the Vikings are kind of regressing in their season, and the Bears might be kind of picking up. So,
I agree. I've seen the regression on the Vikings, but I just don't see the Bears having enough, quite honestly. So, we got Leduc. We got Justin and Fred agreeing with the Bears this week.
Kiss of death.
Yeah, the kiss of death, indeed. Every time I see Fred pick the same thing as me, I'm like, oh, Lord. Cowboys at Commanders. Cowboys lead the series 78-48-2. Cowboys swept last season 38-10 and 45-10. Cowboys won 5 out of the last 6. Washington's favored by 10.5. Over-under is 45. Who do you like, Leduc?
Commanders. It's an easy one for me. The Cowboys are just nothing right now.
It's an easy one, indeed. Let's just put it down. Put the hammer down. There's nothing even to say. The Commanders are looking great, where the Cowboys are not. I don't think they even have a lick of a shot for that one. Speaking of don't have a shot, Patriots at America's team, the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins lead the series 63-55. Dolphins swept last season 15-10, 31-17. We've won 7 out of the last 8. Miami's favored by 7.5. The over-under is 46.5. Obviously, this should be a hammer. It should be America's team all day, but we might have a lone wolf, Leduc. Who wins?
The Patriots. And I'm not saying this is going to be winning in victorious fashion or anything like something crazy, but look, the Patriots have played close games for the majority of their games recently, even though they've lost a majority of them. I'm not saying they're playing good or great football, but the difference is they're not playing ugly football anymore. They're at least playing serviceable football, and I think they're going to get one of these close games. They're learning a lot. We're late enough in the season where Miami is going down in a division matchup. Yeah, take it. I'll take it.
That's what I really wanted to hit, because that's what's about to happen today. But you are a lone wolf. You are a lone wolf in this one, because it's just the home team ride. We know what's up. All right, let's go to a epic matchup. Chiefs at the Panthers. Chiefs lead the series 5-2. Chiefs last time they played was in 2020, won 33-31. It was actually a good game. 3 in a row they've won in the series. KC's are favored by 11. The over-under is 43. Justin, who you like and why?
So they do the tomahawk chop in KC. So it's the TSS hammer. Yeah, TSS hammer.
There's nothing to say on that. All right, let's go. Bucks at Giants. Giants lead the series 16-9. Last time they played was in 2021. Bucks won 30-10. They won 2 in a row. Bucks are favored by 6. The over-under is 40.5. Leduc, who you like and why?
Bucks, just because once again the Giants suck, and Tommy DeVito is just gonna take his gabagool straight back home.
We got some easy early matchups, indeed. We all like the Bucks in this one. I even bust out the creamsicle for the hammer on that. Let's go Bucks in this matchup. All right, let's go to the next one. Lions at Colts. Colts lead the series 22-20. Last time they played was in 2020. Colts won 41-21. Colts have won 5 out of the last 6. Detroit's favored by 7.5. The over-under is 50.5. Justin, who you like and why?
I finally got my lone wolf Colts win, but I'm not going to press my luck. I'm a smarter man than that. I'm going to go Lions today.
Hammer it down again. We all like the Lions. I think this is a decent, might be a decent matchup, possibly at least fantasy purposes. But I still see the Lions getting up big and definitely not losing this game. All right, let's go to the next one. Broncos at Raiders. Raiders lead the series 73-55-2. Broncos won back in October 34-18. Raiders have won 8 out of the last 10, however. Denver's favored by 6. The over-under is 41. Leduc, who you like and why?
This could be one of those sneaky division games, but I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be the Broncos. They're just playing too good right now.
Hammer it down. We all like the Broncos in this one as well. So everyone pretty much agreeing for the most part. Here we get some little bit of competition. Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks lead the series 27-22-1. Seahawks actually swept last season 21-20 and 20-10. They won 5 in a row in the series. Arizona's favored by 1, and the over-under is 47.5. Justin, who you like and why?
Just because it's a division game, and this has been the sloppiest division in the league. I think the Hawks are going to win. I don't want the Hawks to win, but I think they're going to win.
Ledoux?
So I think the Cardinals are going to win. Honestly, for a lot of the same reasons. It's a division game. It's going to be a close, rainy, run-heavy game. Kenneth Walker should go off. James Conner should go off. The difference here, though, is that Kyler Murray has been playing very well right now, and that's going to give the edge to the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Cardinals are the hotness, the new Knicks now. I like the Cardinals as well. Me and Leduc agree.
You got the double kiss of death.
And the kiss of death for Justin on the Seahawks game.
Just give me the dunce out already.
Let's go the 49ers at the Packers. Packers lead the series 38-34-1. Actually, funny, the last 2 meetings have all been in the playoffs and NFC divisional playoffs. 49ers have won 24-21 and 13-10. They won 2 in a row. Green Bay, however, is favored 5.5. The over-under is 44.5. Justin, who you like and why?
Well, you're not taking my fan card ever, so I'm going to go with the 49ers. I will die and sink with the ship.
Leduc, who you like and why?
So I picked the Packers before the Brock Purdy news, so that only made my pick feel much more solidified. So I'm going with the Packers. I just don't like what I see out of the 49ers, even with Purdy right now.
Yeah, I thought I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, I'm so glad I picked the Packers early. And when I heard Brock Purdy's out, I was like, let's go. So I like the Packers in this, although Fred went Packers too, so he might be in trouble. Let's go to the Eagles at the Rams. Eagles are in the series lead 23-20-1. Last time they played was in 2023. Eagles won 23-14. Eagles favored by 3. The over-under is 49. Leduc, who you like and why?
So I like the Rams here. I think this is a game where the Rams have been playing up to their competition all year. The Eagles, I don't think, are the juggernaut that we thought they were going to be. Smith out. I think Goddard steps up there for the Eagles, but I like the Rams in a close game, somewhere around like 28-24, somewhere in that range.
All right, Justin, who you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go the exact opposite. I think the Eagles are for real. I've been talking shit on the Eagles, and I've been burned by the Eagles plenty of times. That's why my record is as low as it is. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna stop denying them their flowers and just give it to them.
That defense is nasty. I like the Eagles too. I think they pull this out. Rams are a little too helter-skelter, and Leduc got
my
death in this one, indeed. All right, let's go to Monday night. Ravens at the Chargers. Ravens lead the series 9-6. Last time they played was last year. The Ravens won 20-10. They've won 2 in a row. Baltimore is favored by 2.5. The over-under is 51. Justin, who do you like and why?
I'm going to go with the Ravens. This is a must-win for the Ravens. AFC North is wide open, and the Steelers just lost, so they need to get back on top. The Chargers, they're fun team, but they're going to lose to the teams that are just a little bit better structure-wise. I think that's the Ravens.
All right, Ledoux.
I choose chaos. Chargers, baby. I think that this Ravens team has felt like a team that has fumbled some opportunities this year, and this seems like another opportunity for them to fumble a chance to jump up in the standings. So give me the Chargers.
I mean, man, this was a tough call for me because I definitely see the Ravens. I could see how they could be the winner, but the Chargers, I just think overall, because of their defense, their offense is starting to click now. I mean, I just think they're the better team right now. Let's say San Diego. I like the Chargers. And this one, and the kiss of death for Leduc, the double kiss, chef kiss for Justin on this one. All right, so unfortunately, we won't see you all for prior to Thanksgiving, so we thought we'd throw in our Thanksgiving picks as well to end our show today. Bears at Lions. The Lions lead the overall series 105-78-5. They split last year. Bears won 28-13, Lions 31-26. Bears lead the series, however, on Thanksgiving 10-8. Last time they played on Thanksgiving was in 2021. The Bears won 16-14. Overall, the Bears are 16-14-2 on Thanksgiving. The Lions 37-44-2. Let's go, Leduc. Who wins Thanksgiving Day?
The Lions, with them leaving bits of bear limbs all over the place.
Indeed. Pull out the Indians on this one. We all axe it down for the Thanksgiving Day for the Lions on this. Is a pretty easy one.
Damn, I'm sexy.
I love Greg's. I don't know. The AI do not like Greg. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one. Giants at the Cowboys. Cowboys lead the overall series 76-47-2. They won 7 in a row, 14 out of the last 15. Last time they played was on September 29th, 20-15. The Cowboys won on Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys are 2-0 against the Giants. Last time they played on Thanksgiving was in 2022. Cowboys won 28-20. Cowboys overall on Thanksgiving 33-22-1, and the Giants 5-6-3. Who wins this matchup, or Justin? Sorry.
Make that 3-0. The Cowboys win in the sleeper of the day. Literally the when you have that early dinner and you need to go to sleep. Yeah, that's what this matchup is right here.
Get the Indians out again, and we're going to get the war axe out. We all like the Cowboys. Even Justin's really suave Indian look. Gotta love it. All right, let's go to the Sunday night, or the Thursday night delight. Dolphins at the Packers. Dolphins lead the series 10-6. Last time they played was in 2022 on Christmas Day, believe it or not. Packers won 26-20. It's been 3 in a row for the Packers. First ever matchup for the Packers and Dolphins on Thanksgiving. Dolphins are 5-2 overall on Thanksgiving. The Packers 14-18-2. Leduc, who wins and why?
I'm going the Packers here. I just like what their defense has done all year, and I think that's enough to stop whatever the Dolphins try to get fancy and throw at him, because Mike McDaniels is a lunatic. Fun to watch on the sidelines, but yeah, Packers.
Justin, who you like?
You're going to be the chief of your own tribe, Commish. You're going to be the lone Indian today.
Indeed. Let's look at all our colonial men, all you plain white men, except for Greg, obviously.
You picked the least good looking one of me.
It was the funniest. It was the one I liked.
That's fair. It was, because it's the one that looks the most like me. So
gotta go with America's team. Although I did see for this game could be a bit of snow, which I'm pissed I didn't get to go to it, because that's what I've ever wanted to go, is the Packers and a cold weather game. That seems like fun. All right, well, let's close things out today. You didn't get to go to church this morning because hopefully you're watching us, but we brought church to you. We got Fantasy Jesus here to bless your fantasy rosters. Let's check it out.
I'm here to save your fantasy rosters. Welcome in, TSS family. It's your Fantasy Jesus here to bring you 5 DFS picks for week number 12. Let's get it started with Bo Nix. Yes, Bo Nix has a total of 6 touchdowns to 1 interception over the last 3 games. His November has been outstanding, and he's been playing against Baltimore, Kansas City, and Atlanta. Today against the Las Vegas Raiders looks to be such an easy task and something you can't pass up when you're going in DFS. So grab Bo Nix this week. Then we got Josh Jacobs going against a 49ers team that is probably the B's and C's at this point. Like at least their defensive line has been broken up with Nick Bosa out. I expect the ball to be pounded heavily with Josh Jacobs in this game. I'm looking at maybe 1 to 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs, so make sure you got him in your lineup. Then we got the returning Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans in this matchup. He's got a long way to go to get his 1,000-yard season that's been mandatory for his entire career. But this week, I think against the Giants, I think he makes up some ground. I think Baker's going to feed him all day long, especially with Godwin not there anymore. So look for Mike Evans to be a really good option for DFS this week. Hunter Henry against the Dolphins. Hunter Henry has been the one preferred constant target for Drake May since becoming the Patriots quarterback. So I really like him to have a good game this week against the Dolphins and hope to ruin those playoff chances. And then finally, we're going to go right back to the Denver-Las Vegas game. Broncos defense, it's probably the highest paying defense out there. You got to pay a lot to get them, but it is absolutely worth it. The Raiders are in absolute turmoil, and now with the running backs 1 and 2 out, it looks like it's just going to get worse for them. Go out and get the Broncos on defense this week and just spend a little money for that. That was your 5 DFS picks for week number 12. May your lineups be blessed.
I'm not sure who to start this week. Trust in your savior.
See, Justin, even your dad didn't like you talking smack about the Dolphins. Right? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate all your comments and questions. We'll see you, of course, next Sunday. And, of course, you can check us out next Friday as we break down Week 13. Crazy enough to close out your lineups. We appreciate all of you. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy today, of course, as well. To me, of course, to my crew, I appreciate you, and happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, fellas. All right, guys, we appreciate all of you, and we are out. Gobble, gobble.